mean, I would love to see various things. I'd love to see the arts as such. Being one of the arts being compulsory at GCSE level, I think that would be wonderful.
I'm delighted to have this opportunity to thank the people of Flanders, and especially Ypres and members of the Last Post Association, for continuing to honour the sacrifice of our fallen.
And what if the dying wish of a royal could shake the very foundations of Buckingham Palace? Whispers are circulating within royal circles and they refuse to fade away. Sources close to the Kent family suggest that Prince Edward, the Duke of Kent, made a shocking private declaration in his final days. The legendary Kent crown jewels worth tens of millions and steeped in centuries of royal history should pass to Catherine, Princess of Wales, rather than to Queen Camilla. The palace has fallen silent, the family is divided, and time is running out. Who is the Duke of Kent and why does his wish matter? To understand the key point of this story, we first need to know who Prince Edward, the Duke of Kent, is. Many people, especially those not focused on the royal family, don't know much about him, which makes his story significant. He is not an unknown royal or a distant relative. He is a key member of the Windsor family, closely connected to the monarchy. Prince Edward was born in 1935. He is the grandson of King George V and a first cousin of the late Queen Elizabeth II. Their relationship was not just formal. It was personal. Edward and Elizabeth grew up together, shared important moments and stayed close throughout their lives. Understanding this bond helps us see why his private wishes are so important. The Duke has served the crown devotedly for many years. He represented the monarchy at many official events, traveled the world on behalf of British interests, and was a well-known figure at Wimbledon as the royal patron of the Lawn Tennis Association for over 50 years. He has earned respect for his quiet and dignified service. He is not one to create drama or public disputes, which is why any private statements he may have made recently are very significant. His wife, Catherine, Duchess of Kent, passed away on September 4, 2025 at the age of 92 at their home in Kensington Palace. Her death led to deep reflection on the Kent family's legacy, including their jewels and estates. According to sources close to the royal family, the Duke, while grieving, may have clearly shared his intentions about the family's valuable jewel collection. The big question now is whether those in charge will honor his wishes or let palace politics override even the most senior royals' desires. The Kent crown jewels. What is actually at stake? To truly appreciate the significance of this alleged confession, it is essential to understand what the Kent jewels are. We are not talking about a simple string of pearls or a modest brooch passed down through a comfortable aristocratic family. Instead, we are discussing one of the most historically significant and breathtakingly beautiful private royal jewelry collections in the world. These pieces bear the legacy of queens, empresses, and dynasties spanning centuries. The crown jewel of the Kent collection in every sense of the phrase is the Cambridge sapphire Peru. This extraordinary suite of sapphires and diamonds has a lineage that resembles a European history textbook created for Princess Augusta, Duchess of Cambridge, a daughter-in-law of King George III. It has passed through generations of the royal family. Eventually, it came into the possession of Queen Mary, who gifted the Peru to Princess Marina of Greece upon her marriage to Prince Edward, Duke of Kent. In 1934, Princess Marina, a glamorous and styled royal, wore the sapphires with breathtaking elegance throughout her life. Upon her death in 1968, they were passed down to the then Duchess of Kent, Catherine. In a decision that shocked royal jewelry historians, significant portions of the Cambridge sapphire collection were quietly sold. For years, royal watchers have speculated about the financial pressures that led to these sales. A reality for minor royals that stands in stark contrast to the grandeur of the pieces themselves. However, substantial elements of the collection remain. Beyond the sapphires, the Kent collection includes extraordinary diamonds, historic pearl pieces, the renowned Kent pearl fringe tiara, and items directly connected to the Romanov dynasty, Russian imperial jewels that entered the Windsor world through Princess Marina's remarkable lineage as a Greek and Danish princess of Russian imperial descent. Experts estimate that the remaining collection is worth tens of millions of pounds. Yet these pieces are not just financially valuable. They are historically irreplaceable. They serve as connections to monarchies that no longer exist, to royal women who shaped European history, and to a pre-war aristocratic world that was lost forever. Whoever inherits these jewels does not just gain wealth. They receive a living archive of royal civilization. According to speculation at the center of this story, the Duke of Kent may have decided in his final moments of authority exactly who deserves to be the next guardian of that archive. The alleged confession, what was actually said and to whom. Now we arrive at the heart of the matter. The speculation surrounding the Duke of Kent's alleged private declaration did not emerge from nowhere. It surfaced in the wake of his wife's death during a time when the Duke was understood to be deeply reflective, confronting loss, contemplating his own legacy and considering what would endure after him. A narrative began to take shape among royal circles and commentators who closely monitor the inner dynamics of the Windsor family. The claim, as it has circulated in royal commentary, is this. The Duke of Kent expressed a clear and emotionally charged wish that the remaining Kent family jewels, snorts, should bypass the current Queen Consort, Camilla, and instead be passed on to Catherine, Princess of Wales, the woman who will one day sit alongside King William as Queen of England. The framing, as described by those sharing these accounts, was personal rather than bureaucratic. It was about legacy and which woman in the Duke's private assessment represents the values and character that these historic pieces deserve. It must be stated clearly for full transparency that no official palace source has verified this alleged declaration. No recorded statement or formal legal document of this nature has been publicly confirmed. What we are examining here is a combination of royal commentary, insider speculation, and the real context of a senior royal's final chapter. That said, in the realm of royal inheritance, informal wishes carry significant weight. The late Queen Elizabeth herself was known to make private decisions regarding jewelry, lending pieces, gifting pieces, and directing pieces that were honored not because of legal obligation but out of profound respect for her personal authority. The question of whether the Duke of Kent commands similar respect and whether those around him choose to honor or quietly disregard what he may have expressed is where the real drama lies. Catherine versus Camilla, the jewel hierarchy nobody talks about. Even putting aside the Duke of Kent's alleged wishes, there is a very real and documented tension surrounding the inheritance of royal jewelry. Understanding this dynamic reveals why speculation about it resonates so strongly with royal enthusiasts worldwide. When Queen Elizabeth II passed away in September 2022, her extraordinary personal jewelry collection, valued by some experts at over £1 billion, began to be transferred to the next generation. The hierarchy in this process was immediately clear. Camilla as Queen Consort had first access to the collection. This is both protocol and tradition. As the wife of the reigning king, she has both the symbolic necessity and the institutional right to draw from this collection to fulfill her constitutional role. Royal experts, including Katie Nicholl, have stated plainly that the Queen Consort receives first choice. Following her are the Princess of Wales and then everyone else. However, the situation becomes genuinely complicated. Catherine, widely beloved by the British public and known for her ability to wear historic royal jewels with grace and significance, will one day be queen. Yet, she has had to navigate a hierarchy that places Camilla before her. Although there is no evidence of open hostility between the two women, the optics of this arrangement have never sat well with a segment of royal watchers who view Catherine as the future of the monarchy while seeing Camilla as at best a temporary figure. The Cambridge Lovers' Knot tiara, famously associated with Diana, was returned to Catherine after a period of uncertainty, and the public response was ecstatic. The message was clear. The public sees Catherine as the rightful heir to Diana's legacy and by extension to the broader symbolic inheritance of the Windsor women. Against this backdrop, the notion that a senior royal like the Duke of Kent might clearly prefer Catherine over Camilla as the recipient of his family's jewels doesn't seem like mere speculation. Instead, it feels like a crystallization of tensions that have quietly simmered for years. Why Camilla's absence at the Duchess of Kent's funeral lit up royal Twitter. If you closely follow royal news, you may recall that the Duchess of Kent's historic funeral mass took place at Westminster Cathedral on September 16, 2025. This event marked the first Catholic royal funeral attended by a reigning British monarch since the Reformation, making it a landmark moment in British history. Notably, Queen Camilla was absent from the ceremony. Buckingham Palace stated that she was recovering from acute sinusitis, which is a perfectly reasonable explanation. However, the internet did not respond quietly. Royal commentary boards, fan accounts, and YouTube channels erupted with speculation. Why was Camilla absent from one of the most historically significant royal events in decades? Why did she miss this extraordinary occasion which included King Charles III attending a Catholic Mass for the first time in modern royal history along with Catherine William and the entire extended Windsor family? For many in the royal watching community, the explanation of sinusitis did not suffice. In the world of royal speculation, absences are often interpreted as meaningful signals or statements that hint at unspoken issues. When you consider Camilla's absence from the Duchess of Kent's funeral, alongside the ongoing speculation regarding the Duke of Kent's alleged wishes concerning jewelry, These two narratives began to intertwine in public discourse. Questions arose. Was Camilla absent because she felt unwelcome among the grieving family? Was there tension between the Kent family and the current queen consort that complicated her presence at the funeral? These questions currently lack verified answers, but are being asked loudly by the hundreds of thousands who closely follow the royal family. In today's media landscape, the questions alone have become part of the story. What palace protocol actually says and where the loopholes are. This story is interesting because royal inheritance, especially for private jewelry rather than the crown jewels, can be quite complicated. The unclear areas are where the Duke of Kent's wishes, if they exist, could be acknowledged or ignored. The crown jewels like the imperial state crown, the orb, and the scepter belong to the nation, not to any individual. No one inherits them in the usual way. However, private jewelry collections of royal family members are different. These pieces are bought, gifted, or inherited and can be part of private wills or family agreements. Family members' informal authority also plays a big role. Queen Elizabeth II often guided where her jewelry would go through informal channels such as a private letter or a conversation. People respected her wishes because of her position. The Duke of Kent as a senior member of the Windsor family follows this tradition. If he has a clear wish, even without formal paperwork, it holds significant weight within the family. The main question is whether King Charles and Camilla will honor that wish. Palace sources have not commented, and their silence often speaks volumes in royal matters. What this means for Catherine's future as queen and why it matters beyond jewelry. Let's take a step back. This story is not just about jewelry. It's about something deeper. Who the British royal family truly belongs to and who will take care of it in the future. Catherine, Princess of Wales, has faced one of the toughest challenges in modern public life. She dealt with years of harsh tabloid stories before her marriage, handled the pressures of becoming a royal with little preparation, lived through the public fallout from the split between William and Harry, and faced her cancer diagnosis with strength and dignity that touched the entire nation. Through all these difficulties, every crisis, controversy, and moment of sadness, she has stayed strong. She has persevered. Importantly, she has done this without losing the quality that makes the public love her. She genuinely seems to care. Jewelry and royal tradition mean more than just decoration. They represent important ideas. When the Duchess of Kent wore Princess Marina's Cambridge sapphires, it sent a message of belonging. When Diana wore the lover's knot, it spoke to her identity. When Catherine wears Queen Elizabeth's pearls, it symbolizes continuity, trust, and the passing of a legacy. If the Duke of Kent suggested placing his family's historic pieces in Catherine's hands, making her the next keeper of that legacy, he was highlighting what many in the public have felt for years, that Catherine is the future. She is the one who will carry the burden of the crown with grace and strength. She is the woman the monarchy needs. Camilla has also played her part. She has worked hard to improve her image under tough circumstances and has supported Charles with loyalty. However, royal history takes a long view. The jewels, those beautiful, historically significant jewels, often find their way to the women who advance the monarchy. If the Duke of Kent truly expressed this wish in his final days, he may have simply been saying with honesty that the future has a name, and that name is Catherine. We may never know exactly what was said during those private moments in the Kent family. The palace will not confirm this and the family will likely remain silent. But royal history is often revealed in these silences, in the gaps between official statements, in the jewels worn by some and not others, and in the noticeable absences at funerals that go unexplained. If you found this story interesting, please share it. What do you think? Does Catherine deserve the Kent jewels? Is Camilla's claim stronger? Let us know your thoughts and subscribe for more insights into the royal